Hello. Welcome. Merry Christmas. We
Yeah,
are
can you believe
days away
Can't believe it.
from Christmas 2023. And we were just talking about some memories. We definitely have memories over the years.
Yep.
We have traditions that have been part of our Christmas Eve evening, because we celebrate on Christmas Eve
Right.
every year. We love them. But you had a tradition when you were growing up, and
Yeah.
thought it would be fun to share that.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily like it, but so I grew up in Minnesota and born and raised there. Spent the first 20 years of my life there, and we got married in '69. Then we moved away, but still, wherever you grew up, that's still kind of home.
Mm-hmm.
We'll still talk about, well, we don't have any relatives up home anymore. We do have a few, but not like we used to.
Yeah.
But I grew up in the snow, sledding on the hill, going to the ice rink. Had an ice rink 2 blocks down the street. I mean, if I wasn't in school, I was skating. We were playing hockey. We were skating, just having fun. So my memories of Christmas have to do with snow and cold and ice fishing and skating and building snow forts and snowball fights and all those kinds of things. One of the things that we often did, I don't think we did it every year, but often, and we would celebrate, our family would celebrate on Christmas Eve as well, but we would go over to my Aunt Lorena's. That was my mom's older sister, and they probably lived about, 15 miles away from us. Seemed like a long trip when we were kids, especially with my dad driving 50 miles an hour. So it took us a long time to go over to Uncle Ray and Aunt Lorena's. But I always looked forward to it because I liked them. They were wonderful people. I liked where they lived. They had a lot of property, and I could go out and run around in the snow. And they usually had a dog that I could play with. But at one point, it was going to be time to eat, so we'd come in and have the meal, which was brutal because my uncle, who was totally Swedish, made Lutefisk, which, if you don't know what Lutefisk is, all I can say is if someone brought out a plate of Vaseline or a plate of Lutefisk and you had to choose, for me it would be a hard choice.
At least the Vaseline doesn't stink.
Right. Because the Lutefisk is actually a cod that's cured in lye, and it just kind of gelatinous. I never developed a taste for it. Those of you that did, God bless you. You're a better man or woman than I am. But we'd have that meal, and that was kind of the downside of it for the kids. But then it was time to open presents, and my Uncle Ray and Aunt Lorena had 3 children, and then they had some grandchildren, and of course my brother and I, and they were always so nice to have a few little gifts under the tree for the kids too. And of course when you're a kid, you're just nailed to that tree. You're looking, you're trying to find your name, see, what might that be. But we knew one thing was coming that was going to delay all the excitement, and that was my Aunt Lorena's little tradition that before anybody opened any gift at all, first of all, we had to find the gift for Jesus under the tree. And I know this sounds terrible, but as a little kid wanting to unwrap presents, you just got to go,
Torture.
we got to find the gift for Jesus, which was hard to find because it was just an envelope, just a white envelope. The idea was, and it was a birthday card because it was Jesus' birthday. Mm-hmm. And one of the grandkids or one of the nephews or whoever, my aunt might say, Dale, why don't you open it this year? Why don't you open the gift for Jesus? And she would sit back in her chair just so proudly in anticipation, waiting for the announcement that when you open the card, there was a check, maybe for $100. And it was almost always to some missionary. It was always to a ministry, but a gift to some missionary. And then there was a brief explanation to all that this is what Christmas is really about. Mm-hmm. It's Jesus' birthday. Mm-hmm. Well, as an adult now and growing up, it's like, you know what? That was a wonderful lesson. Yeah. As much as it was torturesome to little kids who want to open their presents, I never, ever didn't know whose birthday it was and what Christmas was about. We get in all these conversations about we forget about Jesus or we lose the true meaning of Christmas. Boy, we never did because Aunt Lorena had it firmly ingrained. And she was so excited about it. And, through the years you transition from, oh, man, I got to wait till, let's take our time. Let's remember what this is about. When we have Christmas with you and share, because your husband, Jason, his father, their family always had communion on Christmas. So that's a tradition we've incorporated with ours. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful tradition because it all points to Jesus, his life, his death, his resurrection, his coming. It's all there in the Christmas message. So we hope that you have those opportunities as well and those determinations to make sure that whoever sits around that tree and shakes a present, opens it, is clearly aware of the fact that the whole thing is about Jesus. It's his birthday.
That's right. That's right.
So Merry Christmas.
Yes. Thanks, and have a wonderful one. We'll see you next year.
Yeah.